Good morning. How's everybody this morning? Bit of a interesting Globex here, right, folks? Our overnight inventory is actually 100% long. Morning, everyone. Welcome to the folks joining us on YouTube. I'm JJ, vwaptrader1 on X, and this is the tradingsyndicate.org. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are having a great day. At the beginning of it anyway. Hey, Raj, John, how you guys doing? Well, let's see what we have here. Yeah, so inventory this morning is 100% long, and this is a really good example of it. I'll show you what we're talking about here. Here's the close of business yesterday, and you can see that every single trade is above, right? So that means inventory is 100% long. So what we're looking for is a move down. Right now we haven't got it. There is a poor high and a poor low. So we've got selling competition here, and here's where the selling stops because that's where the buyers are stuck. Interestingly enough, remember yesterday I said, do we close above or below 75.11? Well, we closed above it and we couldn't print it at all. Couldn't print 75.11 half at all in Globex. So if RTH opens and we can't get down and take out that overnight low, take out the close, then you'll get yesterday's liquidation was a look below and fail of 75.11, and 76.31 will be your target. Okay, your swing highs will be 75.86 and 76.01 for our larger traders in the room. Okay. Hello, one. What's going on? How you doing? So let's see. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna trade this? Is that a poor high? No, it actually has two ticks. That's not a poor high. I apologize. But when I looked at it here, it looked like a poor high, but it's not. So what are we doing here? What are we doing? Where's our point of control? Point of control is right here at the previous day low from a couple of days ago. Pretty interesting that it's right there. It's these markets are very, very, oh, how do I say? Um, there's not a lot of coincidence in these markets. There's not a lot of coincidence. It's interesting because when the market closed up here at 75.15, O period dropped down. This is interesting, under 75.11, and then popped back up. I wasn't watching that. I had turned off the PC by that time, so kind of an interesting day yesterday. We had bad news. We had a flush, you know, had a flush all the way down, and and then once again a pop back up. So interestingly enough, let's see what happens today. There's our poor low. There's the close of business yesterday. Let's see what kind of trades we can take here. We are, sorry, I'm just a little behind. Marking the stops. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and move that overnight POC, which is 1,328 contracts. See if we can move it up here. Now, London's going to open. When London opens, you guys focus on 75, 48, and 47 to see if we can run those stops. Let me set up the upper stops here. So my balance, my cost basis, I did 29 and a quarter to 35 half, double it to 75.48, and now we are in the 4 times cost basis area. So we're marking up inventory. Excuse me. Right here, just off the bat real quick, you can see we have sellers just underneath 75.54. And they stopped selling at 48. So this is sort of a little distribution cost basis, right? Let's see when London opens if we can take out this 48 level. Other than that, kind of boring, huh? Kind of boring. What's going on with you guys? Anybody take any trades yet? What are you guys seeing? What are you doing? So we had sellers here. They've now moved down to here. It's really boring, really slow, but this is where you can really. Now, I would be looking for a short. I mean, it's a little, I don't know. If I was looking for the perfect short, it's if we offer under 75.48 and stay under it. Oh, here. Oh, you've got your grandson 3 screens and Lego. Yeah, it's pretty slow morning. Watching cartoons. Cool. That's nice. Well, it is summer, guys. It is summer. You do expect to slow down a little bit during summer. This usually Yesterday's action was quite well. It was news driven, so of course a little bit busier than we usually have it. Okay, here we go. Exciting, isn't it? Yeah, be a trader. It'll be exciting, they said. Sitting here watching this movement. Uh, it's just a little distribution right here. That's all we've got going on. You're building a tower. That's really weird. Speaking of Lego, when you're downtown here, I think there's a Lego store here in Liverpool, but I see a lot of like grown men walking around with Lego. Yeah, it's a slow morning, Dave. Oh, does it help you with your stress, Rosh? Okay. Oh man, this is like watching paint peel, is it? Oh, look at that. 48 works. There's a bid at 48. Now let's see whether it holds in the next 20 seconds. That's interesting. So that's the first piece of usable information I've got this morning. Right? When a market liquidates, I'm looking to find where the bid is, and that's where the bid is. If you're not familiar with the term bid, it means buyer, right? Is it really Moran? Okay. Duly noted. So here comes London. This will be a quick session if it's slow like this. If you happen to be long 48, 49, make sure you've got your sell orders out at 51 because there should be a seller at 51. If we just rip through 51, 52 like it doesn't exist, you'll be looking for that 53, 54 top. Okay, there's the seller. Next candle has a lower high. Sell into it a bit. So if you're a dedicated student, you'll immediately go, JJ, there's no money to be made here. And I agree with you. There isn't any money to be made. There's a couple of points here, a couple of points there, if you're quick enough, right? Most people aren't. What I'd suggest you do is spend a little time watching the offer. Look at 51 and 3/4, 52. You can see there's a seller there, but they're not aggressive. So if you really want to understand order flow trading, right? What you're going to do is you're going to look at this area and you're going to go, okay, there's a seller at 52. They're not aggressive. And if they see buyers, they're going to try and raise their price and see if anybody will buy it. If nobody buys it, like it just happened, watch. See this line right here? Can we get them? Ooh, look. Can we get the buyers? Can we induce the buyers to pay 52 half? So far, not yet, right? Those are the tiny little subtleties that if you pay attention to this stuff, you will actually become an order flow trader. This 1 minute chart is the best indication of order flow there is because it tells you where the selling is, and the sellers will tell you that there's buying because they'll raise price like they just did. This is one of the best examples of that. I expected there to be a seller at 51 and 3/4. There was. But eventually, over these last 2 minutes, buyers were willing to pay more, so the sellers raised price. Okay, that's why you mark the tops of the candles. Because if they sold here before, right, they will sell there again. Just like they sold here before, they'll sell there again. Right? It's a pretty common thing. Nobody talks about it. And what this does is it helps you manage your expectations. So had you bought 49 and a half, you know at 51 and a half that there's a seller. Take your 2 points. And if you want to hold around it, put a sell order out at 53, 52 and 3/4. Right now it would get taken, right? If you understand where you're doing business and what's going on in the area that you're doing business, that's why we use the 1 minute chart because it tells you in this area, this is what's happening in this area. See? They're front running that level here. See? There were sellers there an hour ago. They're still there. Why are they still there? Because they need to move product. They need to move size. Now, if you're a really fast short seller, you'll go and short 52. You'll put your stop at 53. And then you'll go put a buy order at 50 half, another one at 49 half, and then another one down here at 49. And see if we can get a move back down. That's really how you trade this micro chop if you have to. You know, if you're like, what I call the gun to the head trader, the trader who has to take a trade because they've got a gun to their head. That's what you really, that's the way you want to trade this. In and out, quick. And of course, if you can't get filled on the bid, take the offer, right? Always remember that, and you should write that down, right? If I cannot get filled on the bid, I will take the offer. And once again, folks, this is how you learn. This is really how you learn the ins and outs of trading. There you go. So there was your short, your 52, 52, 51 and a half, 52 short. Stop was 53. And this is exactly what I told you would happen. They're going to put it on sale and come back down. And there you go. That's your excitement for the day. You guys understand what I was talking about? You saw the trade happen. You knew it was going to happen before it happened because I told you it would. It's just that's how these balance zones work, right? That's how this back and forth trading works. That's about it. Just back and forth, folks. Riveting. Cisco, time to go to sleep. Oh, man. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. Pretty quiet. I'm thinking later on there'll be an inventory correction down once they've gotten rid of all the inventory up here. Oh boy. Yeah, let's just see if that overnight POC moves up. Dave, if you want to, you could draw a new zone if you want, right? This would be your balance and it would be a distribution balance. But for me, I'm not really going to do that because 48's working, right? Yesterday I drew a new zone because we had a massive liquidation, right? Because I drew my balance zones in the morning, then we liquidated right after our session. Remember? So I redrew the zones and I talked about it in the RTH recording. Once again, we've got these 49 bids. Cool. Yeah. So there's no need to redraw the zone unless the zone's not working. So the 48's worked here, here, and here, right? No need to redraw the zones. So you can buy 48 and a half, sell some at 50 and a quarter, sell some at 50. It's not a lot of meat on the bone, right? You're not going to get rich trading this, you know. And this is a perfect opportunity for you to understand how markets work. We're in distribution, right? We're in distribution. Inventory is long, it's not correcting. The bid is 48. So if you want to do business and make a couple of points here, go ahead. Once the candles start getting really, really small, it's time to take a break. Right? And this kind of an area, this can really, really chew into your account with commissions and stop outs, right? This is where a lot of people will lose a lot of money because they don't understand the business that's going on. The business is distribution. What we're doing is we're taking the product which is priced here at 75.30 and we're selling it at 75.50. Just this back and forth, right? So that's kind of what if you understand the business, then if you buy it, like say I bought 48 and a quarter, I'd be out at 50, 51, pretty much max. I wouldn't be looking for any more than 51. So you manage your expectations and then you'll be fine. Alrighty. Any questions? There you go, Raj. Yeah. If you label your chart as accumulation distribution, it will help. Helps you keep track of stuff, really. That's all it really is. Alrighty. Well, riveting. Let's see if we can take out that 54 seller. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's a stop up here at just under 55. Let's see if we can pop that and take the M high. Yeah, yesterday was a really interesting day. Very strange in the fact that It's really hard to keep this market down. Our all-time highs are up here in the 60, 76, 91, 92 area. And that's not split adjusted, rollback adjusted, right? I'm using the continuous contract. And I use volume-based rollover back adjusted, just so you guys know. Any questions? Thanks, Brian. What's my tool on the right-hand side? Oh, this is just what we call a TPO chart or a market profile chart, right? How do you anticipate it's going to range instead of breaking on direction? Because you understand the business, Indy, right? Do you understand the business of distribution? Okay, let's look at it this way. These are good questions, right? It's 3 in the morning in New York, right? What kind of order flow are you going to get at 3 in the morning? It's probably not that busy, right? So you also know that the inventory is underneath us. And when you see this back and forth, that's distribution. Now, it could break out from that. It certainly could. The other thing, too, is the inventory from 2 days ago is above us. So there's going to be some supply up here, which will cause resistance, right? We spend a lot of time looking at these charts, and really, range trading or balance or cost basis trading is about 80 to 90% of the market. Trend is maybe 15, 20%, right? Yeah, and Nathan, if it's midnight, you're probably a little tired. You always want to trade when you're refreshed. Don't trade tired. Don't trade when you're upset. Don't trade when you're angry. Don't trade if you're sick. Yeah, simple things like that will preserve your capital, right? So basically, these charts are just a fancy half-hour chart. So you can see the big dip from yesterday, that back and forth, as we have this balance, and then up into distribution. And you can see this is kind of interesting. We're taking this inventory, we held it sideways, that brought in buying. There should be some resistance in this area because we're coming right back up into it, right? Where there were sellers, there'll be sellers again. Why? Because they have to sell size. Size sellers will always be in the same places. Pretty much guaranteed. And you let the sellers tell you what's going to happen. Like, for example, 75.55 is one of my levels, right? It's worked well. There was a seller here before. You see? They'll be there again. They were there here. They front ran it last time. So let's see if we can't take out that 55, we might rotate back down to 44. That's how you look at these charts. And basically, what happens on the half an hour is the same as a 1 minute. The business is the same. So, did you see, Indy, how we came to that level where I drew the white line? We looked above it just for a minute and then right back down again. That's how you know it's range, because this is what we call a distribution. and you're waiting for the point of control, which is the volume, to move up to show that distribution has been good. Making a lot of sales. That's all it is. No problem, Indy. Thanks for being with us and asking questions. I'll let you guys go a little early. It's pretty slow. Don't want to put everybody to sleep. Thanks, folks. If you want to learn more and if you want to learn how to trade with a bit of common sense and just practical, this is where you put your trade, this is where you put your stop, that kind of stuff, come join us at tradingsyndicate.org. We will teach you how to make money. And hey, you might even have a little bit of fun doing it, right? Our trading room specializes in just straight talk. No complicated indicators, no fancy double talk. You know, it's a simple business. It's been going on for thousands of years. Trading has been around for ever since man was selling rocks to another man, right? From the caveman days, right? So the chart is just a way to look at how sales are going. And so far, sales for the last couple hours over 48 have been pretty good. Okay. Thanks, folks. Have a great morning. Come visit us at Trading Syndicate. We will see you at 9:15 Eastern Time, 2:15 UK time. And thanks for being with me. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for staying with me in this slow, boring hour. I appreciate you guys. Bye for now.